Hi everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Today's video is the third in a series where I am putting together a new makeup bag for 2 weeks and I'm reviewing what I was using over the last 2 weeks. I'll put a link in the description box down below to the items that I put in my bag that I was using over the last 2 weeks, and I'll go over them kind of quickly here, what I liked, what I didn't like, and how things worked for me, and then I'll go into what I'm doing in my next bag. I'll put a timestamp down below if you want to just move ahead to what I'm putting in my next bag. Some of the things in my old bag I'll move over, not a lot, but some I will. And I'm just going in kind of as I see it, not really in any particular order. Oh, and everything on my face today is from this current old makeup bag that I'm swapping out today. So first is foundation. And I was using two Fenty Pro filters. I was using 150 and 190. And I love this foundation, but 150 is too light, 190 is too dark. So I was mixing it together and I love these and I'll keep these. And I have something Fenty foundation related coming up in the next bag. I have, just grab all these guys now. These are the skincare products and I'm gonna keep all of these. This is my Belif Moisturizing Eye Balm, I'm gonna keep this. My Aveeno Positively Radiant 30 SPF. And my Ren anti-aging cream. I'm not through this yet, and I thought I had a backup, but actually I have a backup of the serum. So when this is done, I'll move on to the serum. But this should be done in the next 2 weeks, I'm assuming. Setting spray, Milani Make It Last. I love this, and I'll definitely use this again at some point. This is the Fenty Fly Liner, and I like this a lot. However, I'm not sure if you can see on my lids now, the eyeshadow that I'm wearing is fairly frosty, and the liner itself kind of looks frosty. So this is opaque, but something happens when I'm putting this over something that is not matte that makes it not as opaque as I want it to be. So I like this a lot, and I'll definitely keep this around, but it's not what I would use over something frosty or really metallic, but I do like this a lot. Eye palettes, I used the Marc Jacobs Smartorial and the Marc Jacobs Flamboyant. This is the frost one that came out for holiday 2018. I like them both a lot. If I had to choose one, I would choose Smartorial for the inside and this one always for the outside. I like leopard a lot. I have leopard on my nails too. And this is a great palette. It's just not as interesting for me. The colors are really beautiful, really buttery, really easy to work with. It's just a little bit neutral for my taste, but I like it a lot. This other one, the Smartorial, I love. I don't know that I'll ever really use that blue, the one kind of, this one there. It's called Power Platforms, but everything else I love. The blues and the greens, and it's just, this is a really good palette for me. I like blues and I like silver also too. So this will definitely be coming back into rotation at some point. And I do love, I just couldn't knock it. I love it a lot. For concealers, I had two, and I'm going to keep one of these in my new makeup bag. One is the Arborian Touch Pen. I have Claire. I love this a lot. It wasn't as much coverage as I wanted. Both of the ones that I included in this last 2 weeks were not as full coverage as I wanted them to be, but I do love this pen and I will put it back into rotation at some point soon. What I'm keeping for next week, this I loved. This is the Tatcha, the Pearl. This is amazing. I'm wearing it today. I'm getting over a cold and I don't think I have a lot of dark circles under my eyes. I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder and I look not terrible. And I definitely want to experiment with this more. This I've used by itself, and I've also used under the Arborian Touch Pen, which I used when I was really, really getting sick and I wanted to wear makeup. But yeah, this is awesome, and I'm gonna use this a little bit more because I haven't had much time with it. Eye primers, I had two. The e.l.f. Smudge Pot was fine. This is in Ain't That Sweet. It's fine. Nothing to write home about, but it did the trick when I wanted it to. The P. Louise base is amazing, but it takes a little bit of work. You have to apply not very much, and you kind of have to use a brush. So I only used this when I was really taking the time. I went to a friend's bachelorette party and I took the time to actually do it, but this is not for me practical for every day. I like to be able to just kind of swipe something on quickly, but I love this and I like having it on hand for special occasions or when I really want to spend the extra time. Blush and highlighter and whatnot. I had the Hourglass Ambient Edit 3. I loved this. And I loved the idea of just having a palette to go to for everything. That'll come out again to play. Under eye setting, I used my Laura Mercier Translucent secret brightening, not translucent. And this was nice, and I'll keep using this again at some point. Face powder, love this. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder, and this is just lovely. It does really airbrush you, makes everything look perfected. Face primer, I used my Tatcha, the Silk Canvas. This is great. I'm not going to use it again next week, but I'll definitely come back to it. I don't know how anybody ever gets through the big one. This is a little one that was in some kind of a set that came out around the holidays, and I just don't know how you would go through. You really don't have to use very much of this. Brows. One of the things that I discovered when I did my last kind of makeup bag overview is I'm more than a little extra when it comes to using eyebrow products. So I'm gonna bring some of these into my new bag. What I used in this bag was the Cella Tantalizing Taupe Eyebrow Cream. This is a pomade kind of a thing, and there's a brush in one, and I think it came in a boxy charm. And this is great. This is also good to have just on the go. I like that a lot. I wasn't so fond of the highbrow. This is I don't know if it's matte, it may be a satin, but it's a pencil, and it's supposed to just be kind of for under your brow. But I'm never able to get the precision that I really want to with that, even when I sharpen it really, really fine. So this is okay, but I'm not a big fan of this. I definitely prefer my other method, which is to use a concealer. This I was gonna take out and not put into my next bag, but I'm gonna put it in. My eyebrow game is a little bit scary. This is the Benefit Eyebrow BROWVO Conditioning Primer. This just gives me more volume, and I am just gonna put it aside, put it into my new bag. And actually the same with the next two products. I'm gonna put in my Anastasia Brow Wiz in dark brown, and I'm also going to put in my Benefit Ready Set Brow just to set. And ooh, what I'm missing is a colored, I'm just gonna be super extra. Ugh. I also had the Essence Make Me Brow. I'm gonna keep this too. When did my brow game become so intense? I need to think about that. Okay, contour, I used my Kevyn Aucoin, the Sculpting Powder in Light. I'll use this again in this new bag. Mascara, love this. This is the Hourglass Extreme Caution Mascara. This is really good, love that a lot. I wasn't as fond of the Melt Longwear Gel Cream Eyeliner. It was just, the color's great, like for your waterline, but it never got very opaque. Even if I kind of warmed it on the back of my hand first, just never really made much of a difference on my waterline. So I'll keep trying that, you know, at some point, but I'm gonna put that back in my collection right now. And then lips, these are all winners. Nude, I went with Charlotte Tilbury Bond Girl, which I love, and ColourPop Ellery, which I also love. So these were a great nude combination. And then red, this is a great pencil. This is a Bite pencil. I think it's in 070 or 078, something like that. I feel like Sephora was doing these for like $9. These are just amazing pencils, and love this. And then the Tom Ford Matte Lip Color in Ruby Rush, which is also what I'm wearing today, is amazing. So mostly successes. The only real kind of, not duds, but things that I wasn't as fond of in this go round were the Fenty eyeliner. I wanted it to be more opaque than it was. The brow products that didn't really kind of perform the way that I wanted them to, and the Milk waterline pencil. All right, so that was the last 2 weeks. Now I'll put in the stuff for the next 2 weeks. So I'll start with skin products because they're all sitting out here. Going back in with the Ren by Retinoid cream, the Aveeno Positively Radiant 30 SPF, and the Belif Moisturizing Eye Balm. So these are all going back in. Also going to use, I haven't used this in a while, this is the PUR Hydragel Lift. It's just an under eye cooling, moisturizing kind of a thing, and I like to have a little extra moisturizing in the winter time. And I'll just go as I see it. I see kind of a pile in front of me. I said I was going to go back in with the Kevyn Aucoin, the Sculpting Powder in Light, and I am going also back in with the Tatcha, the Pearl. This is in Moonlight. I love that. And let's just get my brow products out of the way. So I thought I was going to go back in with the Ready Set Brow, but I see that I also pulled my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, so I'm going to go in with this. And then I also like to have an option for when I just want to use a brow gel. So this is the Essence Make Me Brow. I'm still kind of shocked that I have so much going on with my brows. All right, the Benefit BROWVO Conditioning Primer, which I like, gives me a little extra volume. The Anastasia Brow Pencil is kind of just a regular staple. And then I like these. What I did, I'll be honest, during the week, when I was being a little bit extra, I pulled these three out. This is kind of my four. And I think I might film my brow routine now that I see how detailed I am. So I go in first with my Dip Brow Pomade in dark brown, and then I fill in a little bit more with my Anastasia Brow Powder Duo. This is in chocolate. And then carve out the bottom with my Nars Soft Matte Concealer. And this works for me because I can use a brush with it a lot better than that Benefit pencil did. And then the clear brow gel to cover it up. So a lot of things going on with my brows. I'm also using this. This is kind of skincare kind of bronzer. This is a Drunk Elephant Anti-Pollution Sunshine Serum. And this is a kind of a bronzing serum that you put into your moisturizer. I suppose you could put it into your foundation too, but I've been putting it in, or I had been when I was using it kind of in the fall. It just makes everything warm and natural looking. My hand looks really dark and orange. You would never do it on by itself. You always want to mix it in with something, but I loved that. So I'm happy to put that back into rotation again. Highlighter. I probably will only use the highlighter, not the bronzer. My Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. I'm not planning on using the bronzer for this. I really am planning on just using the Drunk Elephant, but I'll keep you posted. Eyeliner. I'm committing. The only eyeliner that I'm going to use, and I use eyeliner every day that I wear makeup, I'm going to use my Inglot AMC Gel Liner in 77. So wish me luck. Setting spray. Urban Decay All Nighter. Face, and concealer. These are different. So I had been using the Fenty Pro Filter foundation in 150 and 190. They just came out with some new colors and I bought 170. So I'm going to give this a shot. I definitely am going to hang on to the others and they're really good for kind of mixing together, but I'm curious to see if I can just use this by itself. So I'll see how this goes for the next 2 weeks. I also bought, there's a new Fenty primer. So I'll use this with that foundation. And I also bought the new Fenty concealer. So I'll see how that goes. And for setting powder, if I want to use setting powder, I'm going to use my Bourjois Rice Powder, which is a classic and I like it a lot. All right, eyeshadows. I pulled 2 palettes. They're both from Saucebox. One is the Nocturne palette, which I've used this a lot. I like this palette a lot. So that is one palette. And then the other one is the one that's gonna be a little more challenging. This is the Secret Garden palette. And it's pouring outside. I'm not sure if you can hear it. So apologies for the rain if you can hear it, but it is pouring outside. So yeah, I am vowing to go in and really use the bold colors on that top row. Those are the ones that are going to bring me the most challenge. So I'm gonna use that. Setting powder, I'm using my Milk Makeup translucent powder. This is in light for me because I'm light. Eye primer, 2 options. One is the Urban Decay Anti-Aging Primer Potion. This is translucent. And then the Bobbi Brown Longwear Cream Shadow. This is in number 1 Bone. So I haven't used this yet. I got this recently. So curious to try that. Might be a little bit light for me now that I'm looking at it, but still. Blush, I'm only using 1 blush. I'm going to use my Hourglass Ambient Mood Exposure blush. It's a nice, kind of neutral. It's kind of like a mauve-y. We'll go with, I think, any of these eyeshadows that I bring into play. Mascara, I'm going to use my Nars Climax. This is just a little guy and see how that works. Waterline, I'm going to use Kiko. This is a Kiko pencil in 02. This is white. So just want to see if this works better on my waterline. And then finally for lips, nudes, I'm gonna go in with my Sephora gel lip liner in, what color are you? The Nudist. And then for lipstick, Nars Velvet Lip Glide in Bound. And then for red, I'm gonna go in with Ofra Havana Nights. This came in my BoxyCharm and I'm very curious to try it. It's a lot darker than what I normally do. And then for pencil, I'm going to use ColourPop Bichette or Bichette. Not sure how you pronounce that, but that's what I'll be using for lip liner. So I'm excited to spend 2 weeks diving into this kind of curated collection. Thank you so much for watching. I will update this again in 2 weeks and yeah, thank you. A lot to do in the world, a lot to do on YouTube, and it means a lot that you took some time to spend with me today. Take care and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.